is Satan defeated? If Jesus Christ rose from the dead, you are defeated too.
Raw and unscripted, you guys. And in this rant, what I wanted to talk about, you guys, was pretty much parts of the state of media, social media, society, parts of the toxic culture that needs to be done away with, and some pinpoints and examples on like where we as a society and a culture have become toxic and superficial. And also I'm going to kind of talk on allegorically how, like, you see throughout history how, now, like, let's say from a Christian perspective, right? From a Christian perspective, fire in itself is sometimes seen as something that is a manifestation of God's wrath against, quote, evil, But that's just from a Christian's perspective. Fire can be something that can be used to test a person, an individual, or a being in general's character, because the thing about fire is when something is put on fire, or a being or person is put on fire, fire has a purifying effect because it strips away certain things that are somewhat, superficial, things that do not last. So they don't last the test of fire. They're burned away, they fall off, they pretty much disappear, or they're disintegrated, or they're brought down to something that's so base that it no longer is what it even looked like before, and it's pretty much not apparent or non-existent. And that's part of what fire does, and what fire is. Fire can be a thing that actually is creative in a way that it forges things, very important things, tools, life-saving things. So fire has a duality to it, to where it's not just mesmerizing. Fire is not just this mesmerizing, magical, almost portal-like element that if you look at it long enough, or you're in the right state, you start to realize that there's something of huge spiritual significance going on there. Fire is, that's all part of it, but the thing is, fire can even be used as a thing, like I said, to create something, to forge something, to strengthen something, and that's really what this all is about. So basically, there's a secret in that. There's secrets in that. Okay, there's secrets in the power of fire in itself, and it's not even just like it can be used as a weapon. Obviously, fire is something that, like, if an arson wants to destroy something on a certain scale, and they have the right tools, the right chemicals, the right explosives, they're doing something the right way, well, then fire will be used to bring down something that is huge, something that's great, and will bring it down to pretty much almost nothing, to where it's not usable, it's destroyed. Fire is something that does all of that. That does all those things. Fire can be something that is chaotic. Like I said, it has a maddening effect to it, where it's hard to control. Okay, it takes a strong-willed, strong character, and strong, just overall in general. It's something that not has to be controlled, but that the controller of this has to be very strong and has to know what they're doing, and there needs to be a level of experience there in a foundation, like a very grounded foundation, because it's a thing, like we all know, like I said, like almost in the case of the arson, fire, if it gets out of hand, is chaotic and spreads and is indiscriminate and burns everything up in a very fast manner and gets out of your hands and out of control and destroys indiscriminately. You know, that's kind of part of the balance of this thing, is you have to, this is not something that like is to be lightly played with, you know. It takes a level of mastery to play with this, so to speak. So, you know, speaking, like I said, on, you know, society, we live in a society to where people are very superficial. That's one thing. People are deceptive and dishonest and not genuine. Not all people, but I'm just saying that I'm talking about the toxic parts of this modern day culture that are incredibly toxic and that are need to be done away with. You know, these are the things that need to be burned away. Okay, these are the parts of this, you know, new world or newer world, or these new things, or these new people, this new stuff that should be burned away, literally and figuratively. You know, it needs to be burned. It should all be destroyed. It has to be burned. It needs to come to an end. It has to be destroyed. Okay? The destruction by fire. You know, like I said, you can be tested by fire. You can be baptized in fire. But fire can purify things, and fire can destroy things. And in this, like I said, in this modern world, you guys, the fire needs to come and needs to destroy this superficial, toxic behaviors and mentalities. You know, so I was talking to someone today, and we were talking about how, like, an individual had literally, and I'm not condoning drug use, I'm not condoning degenerate behavior, but the thing, like, I'm going to make a point. A person OD'd in a public area, right? And this is what I mean about the toxicity of this culture. The person was able to, with breathing techniques, to get themselves to their feet, was able to regulate themselves to a degree, and was strong enough and ready enough to be able to breathe, be conscious, stand up, and then to intelligibly communicate and then walk away. But this is the society we live in, okay? This is what I'm going to lay this out to you. So there's a moral and law. There's like a, how do I say this? There's like a obligation that not only people that are civilians feel, which is kind of dumb in a way. There's an obligation that people feel sometimes to interfere with things, regardless of if someone is trying to tell them something. You know, there is a lawful obligation that certain people in law enforcement in certain avenues and things feel that they have, and there's a liability factor going on there, to where they want to try to interfere with things when they really should just walk away and leave it alone. See, the problem is this. Our culture has gotten so twisted that people have forgotten that, you know, you don't always need to interfere with anything. You don't need to always have this obligation to try to help someone. There's such a thing as watching someone fall. Number one, you can watch someone crash and burn and fall. You can watch someone die. You can watch someone OD. You can watch someone get themselves out of a hole and then get up and walk away. And then, you know, you can watch from afar, and there should be a mutual respect and a mutual trust that is based on rationality between people. Like, you see, this person can stand on their own 2 feet. This person is moving away from the area in the situation. This person is moving away from the people. This person is going in an opposite direction. There's no need to fucking call anybody. There's no need to interrogate this person. There's no need to do anything. You just need to be vigilant and make sure that you don't see, if you see this behavior over and over, then you may want to intervene. But you get what I'm saying? But people are too, my thing is, people are too invested in such superficial things to the point to where they have this way about them to where, like, they don't know how to stay out of people's business. When someone actually needs real help and it takes, like, a certain, how do I say, it's like a certain, what's the word, unusual factor in a person to actually put themselves in harm's way to help certain people, then they are nowhere to be found. But then when it is some dumb shit, it is something that's like petty and stupid, then every motherfucker wants to call a cop, then people want to intervene, and then you have the annoying factor, the law factor, where people who don't even really give a fuck, they don't want to deal with this. Now these people have an obligation to intervene, and it's just, it's bullshit, it's all bullshit. It's nonsense, it's annoying, it's fucking dumb. This is part of something that I had this is a point I had to touch on. Also, something I have to speak on, which is really needs to be done away with, and like I said, it needs to be put in check, it needs to be burned, it needs to be destroyed. My point is this, is like, isolated incidents can happen, and there is a level of there is a good reason for things at certain points in times, but what I have to point out, and what I have to criticize, is the exaggerated, like, culture of something that goes on too often, and it's unnecessary, and it's dumb, and it is incredibly toxic, because it is so prevalent. That's my point, is what I'm trying to say. So, like, this whole thing about, like, I'm gonna have to talk about this whole thing about people being in relationships, especially intimate partner and domestic relationships, and you have people always butting heads. You have people that have financial stability, or they have a financial position, and they are mistreating another person, or their idea of what they feel this person needs or should be given. They are depraving that person of actual real affection, or actual genuine love, or genuine affection, or this or that or whatever. But because of their position, and because of their resources, and because of their status, and this and that, or it could be because of the sheer emotional attachment that maybe someone has to them, they take advantage of that and they mistreat this person, right? And this goes on, it goes on with a man, and the woman does it sometimes, the man does it, back and forth. This is what I mean about it's toxic, and it's too prevalent. I see it too much in this society, in this culture, and it's not gonna fly, you guys. That's how I'll put it on this channel. Now, I could be really mean and really dark and violent and be like actually serious and like really say how it should be said, but see, that's another problem. We live in a world where people are pussies, and we live in a world where the culture is so soft that when punishment should be even spoken about to be implemented, people don't want to hear it, and they want to say, you can't say that. Oh, that's terroristic. You can't, that's threatening. That's this, that's that. You're not supposed to say that. You stupid motherfucker. It doesn't need, let me put it to you like this. If action is implemented, nothing needs to be said. You're not going to have the chance to criticize anything, because your ass is going to be gone. So it's kind of funny when it's laughable when people say, well, look, if it was really, it's like, just shut the hell up. You know what I mean? It's so annoying. It's like, this is what I mean. The toxic nature of this culture, the toxicity, the toxic attitudes, it's all so superficial, so fucking weak, so disgusting, and so toxic. That's what I mean. You know, it's like, so you can't even, it's like, what happened to the good old-fashioned days where ass whoopings were seriously implemented? Like, for real, it was on. it wasn't so social or so liberal, or no, the ass whooping was on. that's how it was. Certain things went on too long. Action was taken, you guys. It was on. And the people who actually deserved it got it. And that was that. It's still like that today, but today the thing is just, when you start voicing about these things, like, that's one of the reasons why I'm sometimes very cynical with people, because, like, I don't feel bad for them, because, like I said, it's about your intentions and your motives. And when I see this dishonest fucking, like, superficial, ungenuine type of shit going on, like, I thinking, oh, this shit is so just ungenuine. You know what I mean? It's like a person when they could, a person could say they're, like, sorry about something, but my question is, like, are you actually sorry about something, or are you just scared of the consequences? Like, what's really going on here? This is what I mean about, like, it needs to be done away with, and it is toxic. This is the type of stuff and the thing is, other people talk about this stuff. It's just I say it in a certain way because I'm not as nice as some people, and I don't have the same mentality of certain people. Like I said, on this channel, we do have fun on this channel, but at the same time, like, we can be civil and all this stuff on this channel. Like, I do promote that too on this channel, like, to be, non-violent, to practice conflict resolution, all that stuff, to try to take things in a very civilized manner, and all that stuff, and, like, try to keep peace. But then at the same time, I realize there is a other side to all of that. So with that being said, like I said, some people don't understand the amount of destruction that is sometimes warranted and rightfully deserved with certain people. You know what I mean? Certain behaviors, certain people, certain places and things. A good old-fashioned, I'm not going to say that word, but I'm not going to say any G or H words, like, the ones I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is, like I said, sometimes things have to be burned. They have to be put under fire, and there's levels. It's like, it's one thing to be tested. That's one thing, where it's like the fire is under your ass. That's a part of the testing. So that's kind of seeing, like, okay, are you going to give yourself enough rope to hang yourself and show who your real character, or are you going to show better and then not get burned more? And then there's a level to where, oh, you have fucked up, so you proved that you are ungenuine, you showed your true intentions. Well, now there's a little bit of flame. Now let's see how you react to that. Then it's, oh, okay, so you are even dumber. Now you're getting burned. Now that this is, and then there's the point of no return. The point of no return is sheer annihilation and destruction. That's the point of no return. That's the actual wrath. That's where now you're on fire. You're in a state of complete panic and madness, and no one is coming to help you, and you are gone. So you guys need to understand these concepts. You need to get this. Society needs to understand this. Society needs to realize that, like, they've been duped. Society needs to realize that, like, a lot of this stuff that you think is so normal, that you think is just so okay, that you think is so modern, that you just think is, like, you think you have your head really wrapped around everything, is, no, you've been fooled, and it's incredibly toxic, and you need to see it, and you need to get out of it. You know what I mean? You guys need to take yourself out of it, because, like I said, it's fucking toxic, and it's disgusting. And I'm gonna say this and close. This isn't gonna go on long. My point is, if you're too comfortable with it and you're too wrapped up in it, then you deserve whatever beatings you get. It's like you deserve whatever punishment you get. That's it's just that, you know, like I said, the fire's going to come, and that fire's going to burn away things that are impure. That fire is going to destroy things that never should have been there. That fire is going to eat up and destroy all the nonsense that sprung up from wherever it did and got out of control, and is going to put balance back into how it's supposed to be. It's going to do just that, you know? And that's the way that always is. It's a cycle. It's something that happens, and it will continue to happen, you know? Pests have to be kept in check, you guys. And like I said, if you're found to be one of those pests, your ass is going to be burned up. It's as simple as that, you know? And one of the dumb things is, think of the analogy like this. Moths are dumb enough to be attracted to flame. And what happens to them? They get fucking burned up. And that's how that works, you know? they jump right in. They unknowingly, they don't even understand the destruction that's coming. There you go. That's how that is, you guys. So understand that, and you know, I'm challenging you as a person to do better. That's what this channel always does. This channel challenges you to be the actual change that's needed. You know, to lead by example. Keyword to lead. You know, that not follow. To be different and to lead by example. This is Steve's Art and Fun, you guys. This is your host, Steve from the back. Like, comment, and sub, and check out the channel thoroughly. And until next time, have a good one.